Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gordon Frayne. We are back with another video. Today we're talking about Jupiter and the Jupiter DEX aggregator. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button below, hit subscribe as well, smash that bell notification icon, and don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin linked down below this video. Go ahead, grab it now, and let's talk about Jupiter. So Jupiter has emerged and pretty much established itself as the leading DEX aggregator on the Solana network. JUP.ag is where you can find the Jupiter DEX aggregator. And essentially what we mean by DEX aggregator is the fact that you can use Jupiter for swapping and trading assets, and Jupiter works to find the most efficient and cost-effective route for your transaction. So again, if you look at the fact that we want to swap a certain amount of USDC into Solana or vice versa, you can execute that swap and it will route that via other decentralized exchanges like Orca, Radium, etc. to get you the best rate. However, Jupiter have built out a whole bunch of other features on their DEX, just like perpetual trading. So you can trade perps over here on Jupiter. You can long and short assets like Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin on the Solana network using leverage on the Jupiter DEX. Now, they will let you go all the way up to 100x leverage, which is obviously ludicrous. But if you want to benefit from using leverage to trade perpetuals and take out long and short positions against these major assets in the crypto space, you can do that over here on Jupiter. We've made plenty of other videos on the channel about Jupiter. I will leave links at the top of the screen for you to check those out, guys. And of course, we've made other videos about the JLP token as well. So this is not to be confused with the JUP token, JUP, which we're focusing on today's video, but the JLP pool and the JLP token. If you're holding that, you're essentially acting as the counterparty to all of those perpetual traders who are using leverage on the Jupiter DEX. So again, if people are shorting and longing these assets by using leverage, your JLP token is acting as the counterparty, and that's why the JLP token is yield bearing and accrues yield on an APY basis over time. So we've done other videos about JLP Navigator vaults, where you can execute delta neutral strategies in order to earn yield to the effect of between 2 and 4% per month. I will leave a link for that video at the top of the screen here as well. Very interesting stuff you can do with the JLP token, but today's focus is Jupiter and the JUP token. So if we bring up the chart here and look at it on the daily, it's not looking amazing. I'm not going to lie, it's difficult to sugarcoat this price action here, currently sitting at just below 53 cents. I was hoping we could have held this particular level of support. This was a strong level going all the way back through to July of last year. You can see that we tested this 67 cents level on multiple occasions throughout the course of 2024, and it held pretty strong until this most recent pullback, where we've been testing it for about 2 weeks, and finally we've broken below it. So we are moving lower, and what that means is we could potentially be coming down as low as these 45 cents levels, where we had that previous support in the month or two in the immediate aftermath of the JUP DEX aggregator launch. So again, we only had the launch of Jupiter in January 2024, and we had an initial pullback with price before a strong rebound and a very strong move to the upside. If we look and measure that move to the upside from all the way back in Q1 of 2024, that was a 300% increase in price over a 1.5 month period shortly after the launch. So again, we could be pulling all the way back down to these 45 cents levels. I would be looking for us to hopefully hold those 45 cents levels if we do come down to retest them, because obviously we've been moving very sideways for the past number of months with the price action for JUP, while we've had Solana struggling to move higher, especially when Bitcoin has been pulling back from 109,000 in the middle of January. However, things don't look all too bleak for Jupiter when it comes to growth and what is happening from an on-chain perspective, we've clearly seen phenomenal growth with the amount of swaps, trades, and users on the Jupiter DEX aggregator. Just looking at how this has grown as we moved through Q1 into Q2 of 2024, and then obviously as we approached Q3 and moved into Q4 of last year, we had phenomenal growth in terms of the amount of swaps and activity happening on the Jupiter DEX. That ran all the way through towards the end of January 2025 this year. But of course, we've seen Solana pulling back and many of the associated Solana ecosystem tokens pulling back in terms of their price, but also, with this peak in activity with the Trump token that happened here just immediately before the inauguration in the United States. That was the peak of activity. If you look across the Solana network and all the associated Solana protocols, we've seen a pullback in terms of activity on many of those protocols since then as well. But clearly, lots of fees being generated on Jupiter over time. You can see the Jupiter traders by bucket and how much they're actually spending. The vast majority of traders executing swaps less than $100. Still plenty of activity happening for swaps and trades up to $1,000, $10,000 and above making up a smaller percentage. And then we can see obviously the higher end of the scale with 100,000 and swaps in excess of 1 million being very, very few and far between. So again, I'm just trying to illustrate the visuals here to show us the actual growth that's happening from an on-chain perspective. Again, we can see new versus returning visitors here executing swaps and trades on the Jupiter DEX aggregator as well. So it is getting a lot of growth. And again, you can see the number of traders by person versus bot, people still making up the vast majority of those trades. And it has continued to grow over the course of the past couple of quarters. So again, looking at the actual breakdown of share of volume by DEX, if we find Jupiter over here, we can see that Jupiter has established itself over the course of the first part of this year as one of the largest DEXs, getting the largest share of volume. Obviously, you've got Radium making up a large bulk as well as others, but it's starting to take away a little bit of that market share from other DEXs like Orca and smaller DEXs in the Solana ecosystem. So again, I don't think all hope is lost for Jupiter by any means. We're seeing good trading volume over the course of the past number of quarters. It is growing quarter over quarter. Again, we do need to see what's going to happen with Bitcoin and the price action here. We're obviously back down to 83,000, retesting the 200-day simple moving average for Bitcoin, and we know that all the altcoins will follow in hot pursuit with regards to what Bitcoin is doing. The last time we had a video about Jupiter on the channel, guys, I did give a price prediction update. And in a bear case, I was thinking that we could go to around $4 for the price of Jupiter by the peak of the bull cycle. In a base case, I was saying we could get closer to about $7.77 and upwards of $12 in the most bullish case scenario. Again, the variables here would be total crypto market cap getting to $5, $7, and $9 trillion respectively in each of those scenarios. But drop me a comment below. Do you want to see an updated price target for Jupiter by the peak of the bull cycle? Because this particular target I did is about 2 months old, and I do think there's other variables that have come into play with Jupiter over the past few months. We had a token burn event happening at the end of January. If we jump back into the chart here, that was what initially gave us this particular spike up in price when we had the 30% token burn for the Jupiter ecosystem. But we've clearly had a pretty monumental pullback since the end of January as well. So I do want to do an updated price target video. Drop me a comment below. If there's enough comments about wanting a Jupiter price prediction update, I will make sure to get it done in the next week or two. Finally, guys, as always, today's video is sponsored by Femex, the most efficient crypto trading and investment platform. I'm going to leave a link for Femex in the description of this video. Come on over, check it out yourself. Of course, this is not financial advice. Always make sure to do your own research. This is just my opinion. Take from it what you will. Take it with a pinch of salt. Make sure to run the numbers yourself. and do your research from both a technical and fundamental standpoint. That's it for today's video, guys. If you got any value at all out of today's video, please give it a thumbs up before you run out the door. It would mean the world. It helps to spread the good word about the channel and everything we're putting together here. I'm dropping videos pretty much every single day, so make sure to subscribe, smash that bell notification icon, and again, don't forget to grab your completely free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin, link below the video in the description. Grab it now, and we'll catch you in the next one.